another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. My name is Hussein. Happy to be with you. Happy to be with me. Hello, Ruby, Abla, Andrew, daughter, Ruby. God bless you guys. Thanks for being here. And I just was thinking about, the fact that Muhammad, the hadith are so clear that Muhammad tried to end his life so many times, and the topic of suicide is a very fraught one. In the Bible, there are at least three suicides. There's Saul, who fell on his sword. There is some people say Samson. I'm not sure if I would agree with that one. And then there's Judas. And so those three committed suicide. Hello, Abla, God bless you. And each time somebody committed suicide or attempted suicide in the Bible, it was kind of preceded by some kind of demonic encounter. It says about Judas that Satan entered him. It says about, well, in Islam that's true, but not in the truth, not in reality. Um, there was with Saul, he had gone to the witch of Endor, and with Samson, he was in the temple of Dagon. And so it seems like there's a demonic encounter, and then the attempted suicide. And there was also a situation with the pigs. Now, I know the pigs aren't humans, but there was a demonic encounter, and there was a suicide. 2,000 suicides. You remember the pigs don't normally uh, throw themselves into the sea to drown themselves, but they did after. Remember the demoniac of the Gadarenes? Jesus cast out the demons from the guy, and they went into the pigs, and then the pigs jumped into the sea and drowned themselves. So there's usually some demonic encounter and a suicide. The devil is the spirit of death, and so he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Well, Muhammad also tried to commit suicide, and it kind of leads you to wonder what kind of mental health he was in. You know, I just wanted to look. Of course, there is a mental disorders related to suicide rates. Um, Bipolar disorder, 7.7%. There is depression. Um, I don't put a lot of weight on this whole mental health thing, but they have done a lot of studies on it. Um, Depression, um, schizophrenia, substance abuse or addiction, uh, unipolar disorder. I don't know if Muhammad would have had that. Manic highs. Muhammad did have manic highs. He was very, very high sometimes. They call him the laughing killer, the Hoka Qattad. And it says that he would laugh. There's so many hadiths that talk about him laughing so hard that his molars were visible. Several of them. There's eating disorders. So all of these kind of mental conditions kind of are related. Um, according to this website, to suicide. But there's usually some psychological analysis. Here's the people versus Mohammed, a psychological analysis. Thank you, Andrew. Jealousy. Yeah, there was jealousy. There was, but I think, um, I don't think, I think the more important thing is the demonic encounters. There were several in the life of Muhammad when he was a kid. His nurse said that there were these devils that came, supposed angels, and opened his chest and took this black thing out of his heart. And whatever it was that came to him, his nurse was scared, and she handed Muhammad back to his mother. And so there was a lot of fear of what was on him. And his mother, when the nurse brought Muhammad back to her, uh, the mother asks, "Is it something demonic?" And she said, "Yes." "Is it witchcraft?" "Yes." So that there was that element there, and then there were many encounters he's had with demons, specifically and interestingly, the one in the cave when Muhammad was in the cave of Hira. And if you read that story, it's very clear that he thought it was the devil. And so let's just look at that real quick. Um, Aisha is kind of the one. It says the commencement of the divine inspiration was in the form of good, righteous dreams of sleep. Okay, um, but then the angel. Okay, he used to take with him journey food and stay, and then come back to his wife Khadija and take his food likewise again for another period and stay until the truth descended on him when he was in the cave of Hira. The angel came, asked him to read. Muhammad said, "I don't know how to read." The angel caught me forcefully and pressed me so hard that I could not bear it anymore. He then released me and asked me again to read. I replied, "I do not know how to read." Whereupon he caught me and pressed me a second time till I could not bear it anymore. Then he asked me to read, and again I replied, "I don't know how to read, or what shall I read?" Thereupon he caught me the third time, pressed me, and then released me and said, "Read in the name of your Lord." Now that's in Surah 96, verse 15. And so there was this thing that came to him and squeezed him. And there's actually a point where, in one of the hadiths, it says that he was scared he was going to die. He was scared the thing was going to kill him. And so, and the question, I guess, that begs itself is, didn't didn't this angel know? I mean, if he's coming from Allah, didn't he know that that Muhammad can't read? You know, you would think an angel that's sent by Allah, would know that Muhammad doesn't know how to read. And so I don't know what's going on here. Looks like I don't know, we had 5 viewers. Now we're down to 0. I don't know what happened. Really? Oh. Where does this, is that what it says over there? So it wasn't the title? Okay, I got one person back. I mean, was there a YouTube thing? A YouTube message? Oh, okay. No, there's one. Okay, back to zero. I don't know what's going on. I think somebody told me that they censored my video. See, I've never had these problems before, so I don't know. I'm still live? Oh. Mohammed suicide attempts? That's a problem?